Welcome to another episode of The American Dream, the only show that combats negative media by highlighting what makes this country so great city by city. Today, you're going to see something really cool. We're going to be focusing on the living history of our country. We have compiled some segments throughout the week that show what makes history in all of our cities incredible when it comes to real estate, lifestyle, and culture. You're going to love today's episode. Let's start The American Dream right now.
We do it in the spirit of going against the grain of the negative media, giving inspiring information, and having people walk away from our show with something of value.
You're seeing a disruption in both the real estate and the mortgage space.
A lot of people are just not willing to put in the work.
What video does is that it demands an emotional response.
You know what I love about this show? It's totally unscripted.
All right, today's show is about living history, but never forget The American Dream is a national show that still integrates what's happening in your local marketplace. So let's bring you your first local market update right now.
Hi Lisa, how are you today?
I'm great, how are you?
Good. If you remember last time, I mentioned about the feng shui, and today I invited a feng shui master. Do you like to learn more feng shui with me?
I would love to.
Let's go check it out.
All right.
Hi, Master Wang, how are you?
How are you?
Good. This is my friend Lisa.
How are you?
Hi, how are you?
Feng Shui Master Wang studied Feng Shui and I Ching over 30 years.
And what is I Ching?
I Ching is the Chinese ancient times book. That is the good system in the ancient time, and the Feng Shui in the I Ching apart, from a little part.
Oh, so Feng Shui is only a little part of the I Ching.
Yeah. And Feng Shui in Chinese is more important. Everybody you choose the house, use the Chinese Feng Shui, and choose the good direction, and sleep your head is a point. Is right Feng Shui, yeah.
And there's a relationship between the heavens and the earth as well, right?
Yes, the heaven and the earth and the person relation is more important in this area.
Oh, can you show us about the feng shui of this house?
Yes, the Chinese compass, in more information in this compass. When they go to see the feng shui, you must use the Chinese compass to choose the good direction. And this compass that is the heaven and the earth and the person, three relation inside.
Can we start use the compass to check out the house and tell us more about this house?
Okay. This area is the peach blooms is more important for the husband and wife's relation and your male friend relation in this area. So must be keep the clean and neat.
So is that means I need to put a peach blossom tree here?
No.
Just make it neat and clean.
Yeah. Can you see this style is better?
Much better. I like it.
Yeah, let's see the next section.
This compass tells us here is the verse, and in that area is the Wenchang set.
Oh, so how wealth is right here and Wenchang is right there.
Wealth here is the money set, and the Wenchang is for education and the study and the culture there.
Oh, I see.
And in that, in front of we looking for the hills.
The health.
The hills, yeah, is there.
Let's go check it out.
Yeah.
So this compass tells us the Wenchang and wealth, which is the money, and also the health, and also the peach blossom. So how to use the compass, or what should we do to enhance our health, or always we want money and study? What should we do?
I think the wheels is use the basin, put some money inside, and in that the Wenchang we use the Chinese pagoda. It's nice style.
So a basin here and a Chinese pagoda there.
As person pagoda there is better. Okay, this we show the backyard.
Okay, let's see the backyard.
Okay, before I say this house is good for women, but this area is good for men. And we back the yard to the tree to see the tree, and the flower is here. When we are cut around here, it's good for feng shui.
Also, we need to cut the tree to round shape.
Yeah,
So it's good for a man.
yeah. So in this house, this the person and the garden is all in this area is feng shui here.
Thank you so much, Master Wang, to tell us about the feng shui and the different sections of this house. We learned so much today.
So interesting. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining me on my segment. See you next time on American Dream.
It's Angela Caliger with Agent Inc. here on the Newport Peninsula, along with my 10-week-old boxer puppy Lucy. Her and I are going to go up the street and interview a builder, Roei Grinberg, to talk about a new construction home he has coming soon. Let's go. I'm here on the Newport Beach Peninsula today with Roei Grinberg, who is the owner of iBuild Developers, a high-end home builder coming from Los Angeles. Thank you so much for meeting with me today.
Thank you, Angela, for having me.
So what I'm hoping to learn is, tell me, you've been building in Los Angeles, large homes on large lots. What attracted you to Newport Beach?
So it is tricky to come to Newport Beach and dealing with such a small land. You know, we're used to build so big houses, go crazy. Los Angeles, you know, I don't need to explain. We're close to the beach. I grew up by the beach. That's a great environment. You always feel like you're on vacation. You know, that's the place to be when you want to run away from Los Angeles madness in a way.
Tell me a little bit about what you're doing at this particular home. You're in touch with a lot of buyers. What are they looking for?
So basically here we're building a 3-story, about 3,200 square feet house that's gonna have about 4 bedroom with ensuite bathroom and stuff. Most people today looking for an open floor plan as possible. They wanna have an outdoor, indoor feel. When you're entertaining, you wanna be part of the party wherever you're standing in the house.
Yes.
Definitely smart houses. You know, as I know, most of the people that owns those houses over here use them as a vacation houses, and they would love to watch their home where they're away, you know, through their phones, or when they're here and they're on the 3rd floor and they want to unlock the door or turn off the light or whatever they want to do. So smart system is very important in those days. And definitely the thermador appliances in the kitchen, wood floors all throughout the house, very good plumbing fixtures, you know, from the best of the best you can find in the market today.
Thank you so much, Roei, for meeting with me. I appreciate it. Can't wait to see the finished product.
Me too.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
I'm here today on the Newport Beach Peninsula Boardwalk at Balboa Lily's Boardwalk Coffee Shop. I walk by here all the time because I live just down the street. And I'm so glad that Fallon, today, you were going to teach me how to make the hearts in the lattes.
Yes.
Cannot wait for that. And Thomas, what do you have in store for me?
We're going to be making some empanadas. I got an apron ready for you. Want to go?
That sounds great. Let's go. So I'm here in the kitchen, backstage at Balboa Lily's Boardwalk, and Thomas is going to show me how to make empanadas. Tell me a little bit about the empanadas.
Okay, empanadas are basically, it's kind of a pie with a really buttery dough.
Okay.
And you can fill them up with anything you want. So today we got steak, onion, and cheese empanadas.
Sounds delicious. Let's get started. Okay, Fallon, I know that something that I've always wished I knew how to do because it looks so amazing is to make latte art. Mm-hmm. So teach me how to make something today that's easy, but yet I'll look like a rock star when it's done.
Okie dokie, I can do that. So the first thing I learned when I started baristaing here was how to make a heart. It's the easiest thing, but it's still really cute and really fun to do. So that was the first thing I learned, so I can teach you how to do that right now.
I would love that.
All right.
Let's do it. Okay, so I'm gonna hold the coffee pot down here.
Yep, so you're gonna tilt the cup a little bit as you pour the milk in.
And I'm gonna swirl this together.
And then right as you get there, that's a good point to stop there. And then you can touch the pitcher to the cup. Okay. And then you're gonna tilt the cup and then do a heavy pour, just like a circle. Keep going and then tilt the cup as you're pouring and then pull through. Oh, there we go.
Oh my gosh, it was a heart! I did it! Yes! Yay! That is actually a really good one. Okay, Fallon, so I'm so excited I made a heart. Like, actually the first time. That's amazing.
It was really good.
But I'm going to test your skills.
All right.
So you guys are known for the honey lavender lattes, which are amazing. But if you were to look at all the art here, what is the most difficult one to make?
Right. So I would say the most difficult art is probably a rosetta, which is pictured here. It's like a layered leaf kind of thing. It's definitely the hardest one so far that I still struggle with sometimes, but I think I've mastered it by now.
Can you make me one?
I can.
I want to see it.
Okay.
Let's do it. Oh my, that is amazing. Fallon, you're awesome. That's so good.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, that looks, that is a true art.
Thank you.
Good job, Fallon. Looks delicious, you guys. Thanks so much for the time today.
You made them.
I did make them. Can you tell which ones I made versus which ones you made? And this is fabulous.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, you guys. It was really fun.
Of course.
You want a quarter one?
Yes.
Okay. I got a big one.
I'll close my eyes and just pick one. There we go.
Look at that.
Look at that light.
Oh. That looks fabulous. Well, Lucy and I sure had a great time today on our Pedagogos interviewing Roei and making latte art. Please join me next time on The American Dream.
All right, little history quiz for you. Do you know who Mr. Showmanship is? Came out of Vegas, Liberace, musician, actor, pianist. We went out to his home in Vegas to check out this cool story with the Batchelor and Hanna team. Let's go check it out.
So today we're at the Liberace Mansion, which is a true piece of Las Vegas history. Right. We get to see this property in an exclusive look. We're going to meet with the owner who has completely restored the property.
Destiny. That's what I can say.
Yeah.
It needed it screaming, please help me, you know. And I was fascinated by Liberace as a child, and that's the reason I play the piano today. I've been not only to bring it back to life, but I've actually been able to bring music back to the mansion as well.
That's amazing.
Which it really needed.
And actually, Las Vegas is very lucky to have you, because when we see properties like this that are really an iconic piece of history, and I see that they've been restored, and being someone who's lived in Las Vegas the majority of my whole life, I almost get a little bit emotional about it, because we don't have a lot of history that has been done in Las Vegas. Kind of, we do everything new and better, and
we tear everything down and
tear it down and start over. And so to see this piece and actually have this tour today, and to see the beauty that you've restored in this property, I'm very excited for. So I just want to say thank you for that.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Now, you see these two marble columns here, and the two marble columns just a little ahead. This is the end of one of the houses.
Okay.
And then
the beginning of the next.
There was the gap, and then there's the beginning of that one. But it was merged, and then another floor was put up as well. This became, once again, a very, very famous piece. He paid $350,000 for this in 1974. And it was in Variety.
$350,000 in 1974.
So what's that, about $1 million today?
Something like that, yeah.
Now, when you took it over, how much of this was here and how much of it wasn't here?
The ceiling was hanging down. There were two sinkholes, and I had to have the floors and the drill, because we under the sand underneath it.
Yeah.
So I had to make it to concrete, hundreds of tons of concrete, and there were pylons, steel pylons with propeller-style blades on them to lift and support everything.
Wow.
They said at the time, the engineers, they said, had I not done what I did, the house would have collapsed in 18 months.
Wow.
So it would already be gone by now.
Phenomenal.
Oh, well, this was a direct blood descendant of Michelangelo, and his name was Stefano Thorpe. This is the closest thing you're going to come to the Vatican this summer.
Yeah, and every night when you go to bed, this is what you see.
It really is. And this was his bedroom.
Wow.
This was once his pool, where he played on the piano key pool. And however, when this went up for sale after he died in 1988 in the famous auction in 1988, the Liberace auction, they filled in the pool and got permission to have an event centre. This is a piece of history in itself. Liberace bought this staircase from a can-can bar in Paris.
Wow.
Now, the reason it hit the newspapers is because of the cost of the transportation. To get it across the ocean and the continent cost 75,000 because it had to be in dollars. It had to be transported in one piece. Now, this is his favorite room, the Moroccan room.
The Moroccan room. Bill's
you.
already up here doing it.
Soaking up the Liberace history.
There's a very positive energy in this room.
There is. And just the natural light and just being, I feel like you can almost feel the spirits of everyone who has been here. You are truly just a man after my heart because I love that you've restored this history here. I know Daryl's really enjoyed it, and just everything down to just the furniture pieces. You've done an amazing job, and we thank you today for your time.
Thank you, good self.
Thank you, Martyn.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Nice to meet you.
You're most welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And now we're going to finish up by showing another little piece of iconic history, Michael's Restaurant here at the South Point.
And Michael's has been in business for almost 40 years. They've hosted many celebrities, many Las Vegas mobsters.
And we're going to interview the guy here, Jose, who knows where all the bones are buried pretty much.
He does. He has the key to the castle. He has the keys. He's going to have an interview with us and tell us what Las Vegas holds behind these doors. Come on,
check it out.
So, Jose, we're so excited today to be with you and be at beautiful Michael's Restaurant, where we know you have seen countless celebrities, you've seen countless very famous, iconic people, and we want to talk a little bit about that Las Vegas history.
Yes.
So what can you tell us?
We moved out here to the South Point in 2007, and the only original two pieces is the dome and the front door.
Wow.
And everything else is the same colors, same
exact replicas, right?
This is how it was before. Yeah.
carpet.
What other celebrities have you hosted at this
We had a lot
restaurant?
of sports celebrities. Dan Marino, Boomer Esiason.
Now, you don't have to confirm or deny, but I might have heard a few little rumors that there could have been, over its life, maybe a couple mobsters that came in and had dinner here. So I know that it's a nice restaurant to entertain, we'll say.
Yes. Yeah, I wouldn't disclose that part because some of them are still alive.
Some of them are still alive.
I don't want no problem.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I don't blame
any
you.
Problems. Any problems with any. That's
No
awesome.
names.
I love hearing all the sports stars that have been here and just having that piece of Las Vegas history. I love that it's iconic. I love that you have the original dome from almost 40 years ago. And I just appreciate your service. I appreciate you having us here. But you know what?
Yeah, thank you.
I think I'm getting hungry. Are you hungry?
Absolutely. Let's
I
eat.
think we should have a meal. All right, well, that's a wrap. Thank you so much.
Thank
Jose.
you,
We
Jose.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, let's eat.
All right.
All right, now here's a cool story. Talk about real estate, Al Capone in southern Florida. This is a home that Al Capone used to peddle alcohol during Prohibition. Really cool story coming at you from Orlando. Let's check it out.
Jules, I'm wearing my nice clothes, my beautiful jacket. What are we doing out here?
We are sitting in Casadega, Florida, otherwise known as the psychic capital of the world. Besides being a wonderful area to connect with the other side, it's also a historic site. And there's an extra special property that I'm gonna take you to. And if you're lucky, I may even treat you to lunch at one of my favorite restaurants in all of Central Florida. Welcome to the Pines. We're in this 1926 historic home that has certain extra special attributes besides being a beautiful property. And we're fortunate enough that my buddy Teresa, who happens to have this listing, is gonna give us some more details as we go through an extra special tour of this property. Hey Teresa, good to see you.
Hey there, thank you so much for showcasing our home. This home was built in 1926, as you referenced. It's a beautiful two-story home that has beautiful original heart pine wood floors and beautiful craftsman French doors surrounding this ballroom. It's got 5,040 square feet and it's got 4 bedrooms, 3.5 baths. It's got a pool house next door that's not attached to the home because we wanted to maintain the integrity of this beautiful home.
You know, the home also has lots of upgrades to make it modern and comfortable for anybody that wants it. So as the legend goes, Al Capone may have spent time doing some of his naughty little things with bootlegging. if he had stayed in this home, then it's possible that when they went up into the attic, that there's a really cool spot where you get a good sense of what's coming and going around the property. I just think it's just cool to be up there, and you can store anything you need. It's got complete flooring, and it's actually pretty cool, as in temperate. You may not realize that because of where we are in Florida and throughout more of the northern part of the state, many homes actually do have proper basements. And this is completely dry and way cooler than you would imagine. Probably about 10 degrees cooler. And it would make the perfect wine cellar. So if you or someone you know would love to own a piece of history right outside of Orlando and just a few minutes from Daytona Beach, give us a call and we'd be happy to bring you to this home. Right now they're asking $665,000 for just under an acre of history.
Hey, Jules.
You found the bar I told you about.
Of course, every place I go, I've got to find the bar, and this is beautiful.
So what do you think of this little hamlet of
I
Casadega and Lake Helen?
absolutely love it. So what's great about this is you drive into the city, and it's comfortable. You're serene. And I haven't been here since high school or college. I was telling someone that earlier. But everybody's so friendly and open, and then the history is just overwhelmingly amazing to me.
Isn't that cool?
It really
so
is.
Speaking of history, you guys at Freedom Mortgage happen to have some of the unique products required to be able to get a loan on a historic property. Can you tell us a little bit about what our viewers need to know?
Yeah, it's not as scary as people make it out to be. The biggest obstacle, I think, is the comps, which are the comparables, which try to find a house that is the same age or designated as a historic home. It can be hard to find that around your neighborhood. So the comps, trying to find the value really is the biggest challenge. Things like insurance used to be a big deal to try to get that, but companies have come around and there's a lot of insurers that will insure more historic homes, like the beautiful home, the Pines that you were in.
And then, so when it comes to finding the loan product for a property like that, it's pretty much standard, like a traditional conventional loan is no problem.
Correct. It's really standard. So I want to encourage anybody who's watching, don't be afraid of it. You can get the loan just as you would qualify for any other traditional loan. We just have to do a few extra steps, but we know how to do that. So if you haven't seen that house, you definitely want to go visit it.
Oh, thanks so much. So if you think you might be interested in talking to Ted about getting a loan to buy the Pines, reach out to us. We're happy to help.
Please do. Thanks for having me.
All right, having fun with today's history show, but don't forget, The American Dream is a show centered around real estate and lifestyle in your own backyard. So let's go to our next local segment so you see what's happening in your city.
Hi, I'm Deborah Cowles, and I'm part of the Compass family here in Newport Beach. You know, I came to Newport about 30 years ago for a specific purpose, and that was to row and train in the Newport Harbor. But I stayed in Newport because of the lifestyle and the beauty of the city. Today on this episode of American Dream, I want to focus on why I think Newport Beach is a great location for a second home. You know, I have many clients who have primary residence here in town, but more and more my clients are deciding to downsize, keep a small residence here, and then have another one in the desert or the mountain, maybe somewhere else in the country or abroad. In addition to the great lifestyle here in Newport, which offers fun shops, restaurants, and access to the harbor and beaches, one of my favorite things about living in Newport Beach is the beauty of this town. Newport is made up of several villages, has 7 islands in the harbor, and long stretches of coastline. All these features create a daily feast for the eyes, and it makes you feel like you're on vacation every day. Right now, I'm outside my listing here in Newport Beach on Clay. It's located in Newport Heights, which is one of those charming villages that make up Newport Beach. I think this is a perfect location for a second home. This property may be pint-sized, but it really packs a punch with style and functionality. This home has both luxury and functionality. An example of that functionality are the 3 large-scale bedrooms. The luxury of this home is front and center downstairs with an open concept floor plan that highlights neutral colors and yards of delicious stone counters in the kitchen and high-end fixtures and appliances. But one of the best features in this space are those large doors and windows that open up to a rare feature in this price point, a bona fide yard. The last functional feature of this property is its large 2-car garage. It's great because Newport Beach is a water-forward community, which means a lot of owners own SUPs, kayaks, surfboards, but my favorite piece of recreational equipment is the bike. I've brought my bike today so that I can take you and show you if you live in this house, you can come home and never have to get back in the car. So this location in Newport Heights is just up the hill from the bay with the Dock and Dine District, Lido Marina Village, shops and restaurants. It's also close by to the heart of Newport Mesa with everything that's fun on 17th Street. Next, let's go look at one of my favorite locations in Newport Mesa, Keen Coffee. It's a fan favorite for me and my friends. Let's go see it. Hey, so here we are at one of my favorite coffee shops, Keen Coffee, right here in Newport Heights. It's a fan favorite, and if you are a coffee drinker and you live in Newport Beach or Eastside Costa Mesa, you definitely know about this shop. It kind of has a cult following, and I mean that in the nicest possible way. As a matter of fact, I have a group of friends that come here 2 or 3 mornings a week. You know who you are. Wowzers. I love you. And they absolutely love this place because it's so comfortable and casual. I personally like to come here for social times and for quick coffee meetings for business. It's one of those places that's casual, comfortable, and everybody seems to know who you are even though they don't know you at all, kind of like that show Cheers. I don't walk in and they say, Deb, but it does feel that way. You know, another fan favorite here in Newport Beach is Susie Cakes. Susie Cakes came in about 10 years ago, and I know that because it was right before my birthday. I was having a big party, so I decided to come in and see what their flavors were. And I fell in love with all of their flavors so much I couldn't decide which one to do, so I ended up making a cake tasting. I got a flavor for every letter in the first name, in my first name. My first name has 7 letters, so it was a huge hit at the party, great cake tasting, and Susie Cakes got 40 new clients. Well, that's it for today. Thanks for joining me. And thanks for going to take a look at some of my favorite places in Newport Beach. I hope I've piqued your interest about the area and buying a second home here. If I don't see you around town, I look forward to seeing you on the American Dream.
All right, more of the History Show. Now, this one's really cool. We're coming to you from Seattle, where we go to the tallest hill and show off this amazing home that was also lived in by the guy who built the tallest building. Let's go check this out in Seattle.
What an incredible setting. Now let me take you back in time.
Okay.
Imagine it's 1902 and you're throwing a party. All of your friends would come up along this street and they'd come up these marble staircases to join your party. How cool would that be?
That's amazing.
Right? Can you just picture them all with their ascots and their long
have to
coats?
use some imagination, right?
Absolutely.
Welcome to the grand entry.
Wow.
Look at this house. They have 2 living rooms. This is one of them. And if you come over, they probably invite you here because this is for family and close friends.
Ah, okay.
And yeah, the other one, if they don't know you that much yet, or they are not sure whether they want to talk to you yet, here is a place for the guest.
So the homeowner could choose whether or not to meet the person here. So if I showed up and they put me in this room, I should be a little disappointed?
Yes, yes, so be
darn
nice.
How many years did they spend rehabbing this house?
More than 20 years.
20 years.
Yes.
20 years. You're not going to believe that. You know, one of the things I was reading that your client had told us is he actually told the carpenter, I don't like sagging bookshelves, because you all know when you put a lot of books on a shelf, it tends to bow.
Yeah.
He told him, I want the shelves strong enough to support a man. The carpenter climbed onto the bookshelves to show him that it could bear the weight.
Yes. Do you want to try that?
All right. No, no, I don't want to try that.
Okay.
I'll take his word for it. I'm surrounded by gold. Incredible. In fact, the medallions around the chandeliers were hand painted by an artist in Tennessee who specializes in Southern Mansion chandelier medallions. Let's show him where the rest of the meal comes from. So this room actually used to have a hallway that connected to the kitchen. And so what the chef would do is prepare the meal by course, and then the servants would come and they would wait in this room. There's a pocket door right here. And so when they heard the bell ring, they would bring the next course out.
This is one of two master suites, but this is a huge one. It's not just huge, it's also when you live here, you have that royal family feeling, because when you stay in the bed, you can see Space Needle, and also as lady, you can check out who is coming.
That's right, that's right. The lady of the house would come to this railing right here and be able to look down onto the foyer and see who was coming into the home. You know, they'd funnel one of them off into the lower class living room or funnel them over to the higher class, but she could decide whether or not she wanted to greet them, right?
That's right. So if you are at Laine, that side.
Yeah.
Janice side, this side.
Why do I keep getting downgraded? What master suite is complete without its own kitchen? W.J. Whitney, who's the gentleman that first built this home, is also the guy who built the Columbia Tower, the tallest building in the Seattle skyline.
Wow, that's amazing, huh?
It's pretty neat.
Yeah. Wow. I know you would have a wall here.
She has the best view in the entire house.
I know,
That's
I know.
incredible. I'm looking at Mount Rainier, Space Needle, Seattle Center, Elliott Bay, the entire downtown skyline. I can see the Cascade Mountains. This is incredible. I would never leave.
Then you can buy this home. You can have the view forever.
All right, you take cash?
Sure.
What we're sitting on right now is an outcropping of the house. This home was built on a promontory, actually a big rock. And because of that, it was allowed to be built about 12 feet forward of the houses on either side. So those houses have great views. Our house has 210 degrees of great views that go from the Olympics through Elliott Bay, downtown, all the way over to the Cascades, and all unobstructed. It is incredible. What an incredible house, Janice. Thank you so much for including me and showing it to me. I think our viewers are going to love it and can't wait for people to see it firsthand.
You can schedule a private tour with me and go to seattletopproperties.com and I'll show you around.
Thanks for tuning in. We look forward to seeing you next time on American Dream TV, Seattle.
Hey, that's all for today's show. Even though the U.S. has one of the shortest histories, it's one of the coolest. And I hope you enjoyed today's real estate and lifestyle pieces we showed you about the history of our country. Now, don't forget also, we'd love for you to breathe oxygen into this positive message of the American Dream. Please follow us on social media, and don't forget to tune in next week for another episode of the American Dream.